What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here. The new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Friday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. And I hope each and every one of you are doing great, even though right now the world's kind of on fire and things just aren't really all that great. I want to say thank you to each one of my 2,025 subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you very much. If you could please hit that like button. If you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get these videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that would be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help and support this channel. So today, we got the big dog, OG Tamon. What up, dog?
What are you saying? I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'm happy to have you on. You're somebody that I've come up kind of in the system, knowing that I got poor connection. Hold on.
Yeah.
Come on, right now. Don't do this right now.
No.
All right, so you're somebody that obviously I came up with. I like all my years I've kind of bumped into a lot of ways, bumped into a couple times. So if you want, like, introduce yourself, kind of where you came from and what you're about.
Yeah, man. I'm Tamon. Fuck. My story is, I don't know. I been a career criminal, you know what I mean? Did it all, you name it. I've done it. Crime-wise. Nothing to be proud of, but it's just a matter of fact. We can say the same thing about drugs. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? I lost, like, my whole family's wiped out from overdoses. 4 uncles, mother, father, brother, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I've been through it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, right? So, yeah, I decided to change my life because I've learned how precious life is, you know what I'm saying? By seeing how quickly it can be extinguished. So, yeah, I've been, you know what I mean, volunteering, helping kids out and shit, sharing my life experience with them, trying to, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I give you all the credit in the world for that, especially since I know you have so much wisdom to offer. Because I know 100% that you've been there. I know about you. I know where you came from. So I know how difficult it's been for you, just like it's been difficult for me. But I would say, what would you say was the deciding factor to really change? I know that you've lost a lot in your life. There's been a lot of sacrifice and stuff, and it gets to a point where it's kind of hard to deal with. You know, there's only really one people. But what would you say was the biggest deciding factor to make that change?
Well, I wouldn't say there was like one. Well, there was one big moment at when I was in the pen. My mom died 1 month before I finished my 7-year sentence. So I got out. I seen all my kids that were like doubled in size since I last seen them. And it's at a funeral, like, you know what I mean? My son's bawling, and he looked at me and says, "Dad, never again, please." You know what I mean? And yeah, that was huge. But also just, it's like standing on train tracks. You know what I mean? And you see all your boys, your family just go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Like, you're gonna stand on the train tracks and be next?
Yeah.
Or try to do something else. Right?
Yeah. I totally feel that, because I honestly,
we know that don't work.
It don't work. And I've been around a long time too, and people around you literally just start dying all the time. You never just stick with one thing. Obviously, the first time I met you, I remember the first time I met you in the street. I was sitting in the PK.
Yeah.
I was literally in the K-hole on a couch. And I remember hearing all this noise, but I couldn't see anything. I could just hear the noise. And I remember when I finally came to, you were there, and I just remember, man, you had the charisma, and I know that you could put that into positive and really try to help kids. And you know, the reality is there's not really anybody stepping up like that. You know, like, I feel like society now is lacking leaders. You know what I'm saying?
Straight. Well, society, we call our leaders, right?
Yeah.
True leaders, right? that want to speak truth, make a different change, and try to change the status quo, they go, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a very in demand position, right?
Yeah.
So,
and this world's on fire right now, as you see, right?
That's what I'm saying. So like, there's no risk because you're gonna burn anyway. Like fuck, you know what I'm saying? So let's try to make a positive impact and wake people up, and like, you know what I mean? Because the only way is a critical mass. What's coming against us? You know what I'm saying? Like they're bringing fucking governmental force and shit. Like critical mass has to wake up.
Yeah, man, and you're seeing the beginning of it, the real opening of the eyes down in the States right now. It's
around
crazy.
the world,
Around the
world, man. Around the world,
all around the world.
France, Italy, like where else I see?
I see
Sweden,
Canada.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of had enough of this shit, right?
Straight. It's nice to watch, though.
Yeah, and it's funny how all of a sudden coronavirus not in the news.
No, the cure is the riots. You know what I mean? A couple riots and the coronavirus dies.
Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy. The media cycle is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, to go back. How much time have you done total? Would you say?
Fuck. Say half my life at least.
Yeah. You are. I don't know. I forget how old.
July.
So,
I'd say
of all that time, where would you say was probably the worst place that you ever had to do time, and the worst experience you would have faced that you had?
Straight. Young offender. Young offender was gladiator school. Them kids were nuts.
Sure. After you do West Detention or you do TIAC?
Both. They, like, you know what I mean? Young offender, kids full of piss and fucking vinegar, trying to fucking prove a point. Like, it's just a gauntlet you got to run through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told a story in one of my prior videos where I talk about this little white kid from Barrie came on to 7 Dangerous and kayak, and they literally put a big piece of feces and circled him in the back and made him bite him. And it was one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen in my life. Literally instantaneous projectile vomiting.
Wowzers.
Constant violence. Constant smash. They had to split the place in half just so that they could.
Yeah, I seen something like the fucking brown bubbles and the yellow bubbles, national anthem. Just needless shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking back, needless shit.
I remember they used to bump the Rough Riders anthem.
And then you get to adult, and it's just cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's on some mutual respect shit. And if you know how to handle your business, you're nice. You probably won't even get a hiccup unless you're a loon or you got a habit, or you don't pay your gas. You know what I'm saying?
And you can have a habit. You just have to understand how to hustle for it or pay for it, right?
Yeah, straight.
It's just, you can't take anything you can't pay for. Like I said, in Ontario, the penitentiary, for the most part, if you're a good dude and you don't move shady, you won't have problems. If you're in provincial, sometimes you get on a block where there's some young kids. You might, if you're moving waste, or you look like a victim, maybe you might have a little bit of a hard time. You just got to earn your little stripes. Fight it 1-2 times, you'll be all right.
You got to put your work in. Show them you got hurt. Once that's done, you're the little oddity, like, you know what I mean, out to the corner, right?
But it's funny. Sometimes you see like the smallest dude with the biggest heart. Then sometimes you see the biggest dude with the smallest heart.
Well, the bigger dude never really has to put the work in because a lot of people are intimidated. And that small dude's always fighting because he's a little guy that people are always testing. So you got one that's used to the fucking grind and one that never has to put the work in.
It's true. That's so true because and honestly, I got in a beef the last time I was in, and I was pretty frustrated. I didn't want to be in prison. I was over it. I was mad at myself. I got back into the dope, but I got in a beef with this big jack dude who was trying to flex, and he'd jump on guys after they were already beaten up. And literally just one little tap, and it was lights out. It was the easiest thing I had in my life. And then in Pembroke, I had the toughest fight I've probably had in my life, and the dude was 150 pounds. He's just mad.
Yeah, all hurt.
All heart, man. He was crazy. I don't even know if it's hard. At that point, it was crazy. He was into some real crazy things. But if you could give some advice right now to not necessarily young people, but just people in general, what would you say, like, the best advice you could give to stay out of trouble and to stay away from the madness?
Don't be afraid to be by yourself, for one. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be liked and be part of like something. Like, a lot of people are afraid of just piece of, you know what I mean? Alone time with yourself, right? Don't be afraid. Invite that shit, because at the end of the day, you come in alone, you go out alone. You know what I'm saying? So you got you. And a lot of people do some, like, talk to themselves like piece of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Their whole life.
Yeah.
We've gotten us to this fucking point. We're our own MVP. But all we'll ever say is, oh, you're fucking dumb. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So, look, and at the end of the day, like, try to be happy. It's a choice, man. And don't play into fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, and a lot of people come to the realization late. I fought it a long time, like getting a job and just, you know what I mean, doing the straight thing. I fought it forever. For the longest time, it was like, that is never going to happen. It was like a non-starter. Like, we're not even having this conversation. I'm never getting a job. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the sooner you come to peace with, like, that's what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? It's not even for the money, because it's for the it's for the time and the commitment you have to put into it. You know what I mean? So it's harder to fall into, like, bullshit, like, or deep into addiction or whatever, like, because when you're idle and you ain't doing shit, you know what I mean? Because you're fighting this fucking, that you want to be in the game, get easy money. There's no easy money in this life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest money you're gonna get, because you're gonna pay for it with years off your life if you're lucky.
Idle hands is the devil's playground, and that's facts for me. I'm somebody who can't have a lot of free time. If I have free time, I get in my own head, and then I start making all these crazy ideas. So for me, the best thing is working. I work a lot. I work 50 hours a week, and other than that, I try to keep myself busy. And honestly, I love the time I've been having with just me and my girl, just chilling, and not really worrying about anything other than that.
Yeah, it's like slow and steady, man. Don't be in a rush. You know what I mean? People want to, like, sit there and look at, like, the man that's selling fentanyl or something with a stack and shit. Like, that's in and out. That money's in and out. Like, you grind for your shit. You know what I mean? And just build your shit. Don't be in a hurry. You know what I mean? Just be consistency, and you be all right. Straight.
Yeah, like, I agree, because the reality is, if you can do crime and you can make good money, but at the end of the day, that money, you lose that money if you get pinched a lot of the time. But if you work for your money, you slowly invest in mutual funds or small stocks or whatever it is, you can build real money and real long money and do it the right way, where they can't take your money from you.
And you're gonna do it when you work for it. Like, when you're hustling and shit and it's coming fast, like, it just goes through your hands like water. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you work, you sit there while you're working and start thinking about what you're gonna do with, like, you know what I mean? And making your plans.
You learn to respect the money a little bit more. I'm still not very good at that. I'm still working myself, but I've gotten a lot better.
Yeah, there's different reality. Change when you work for your shit. It can be measured. That's I've heard that from old times, growing up forever. You know what? Wait till you work for it, kid. Wait till you work for it. But it is, right? I look at it like hours off my life. Like, you ask me for 40, 50 bucks, I'm like, yo, that's hours, bro. That's hours. That's a big ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before I watch money.
Yeah. And for me, where I work, honestly, like, I don't make the best money in the world. You know what I'm saying? But I have job security, I have full benefits, I have RRSPs building, and I never had any of that before. Honestly, I'm getting my license. I'd have my license right now if it wasn't for this damn COVID.
Yeah.
And it feels good to have a real good, like solid
Momentum
stability underneath you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely appreciated, and you start to see it's like a snowball effect. You start knocking shit off your list, you know.
Yeah, you start achieving them goals. You start feeling good about shit, and you work harder, and stuff comes a little easier. You start networking, doors start opening for you, and when you're treating people good, being positive, good things happen. That is facts.
Yeah, yeah. You attract that same frequency which you emit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you used to be like all grimy and shit, like look at all these rappers that are getting slowed down, because they're sitting there like you can create your own reality with your words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Real shit. Yeah. So these guys are talking about all this chopper shit, all this body after body, and they catch a body. They get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's coming out like proof in the pudding. You know what I mean?
To me, rappers got it backwards. Like, to me, why would you get rich and then want to get involved in that stuff? I don't get it. Obviously, a lot of those guys are involved before they get rich, but not all of them. You know, a lot of them is an image thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit more about what you're doing with kids and stuff to help?
Well, it's been going on for 3 years. I've been there since the beginning. Like it was started as a boxing camp, and it's kind of grew from there. We did like a music workshop with them. We do health. They have health class and learn about nutrition and shit. We had Mr. Henry come talk to the kids. Like me and Mr. Henry address the kids about just what's waiting for them if they want to continue to, you know what I mean, pick their hard body, and because they've yet to feel a consequence of any whatever, right? But
yeah,
it's waiting. You know what I mean? So
now, yeah. How did they get into the program? Do they volunteer to come to the program, or is it like a program where if you get in trouble, you kind of get like misdirected there?
No, it's just open to anybody.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like, how are we gonna turn away a kid that ain't from, like, you know what I mean, that don't fit our criteria? Like, if kid needs to be there, like, we want them.
Yeah, you want to help them before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Like, now, you know, before we end the interview, I just want to say this. Honestly, dog, of all the time that I've known you, you've always treated me with the utmost respect. And honestly, you have no idea how much respect I have for you, because I know what you've gone through. I know how much pain has come to your family. And I just want to say, man, I commend you for staying positive. And honestly, I never knew. Like, I've been paying attention to your Instagram and stuff, and I never knew you were into some of the things that you're into. And I just say, man, it's great to see. And before we get out of here, I'd like to say this: if you could give one more piece of wisdom, regardless of what it is, it could be about life, it could be about prison, it could be about drugs, it could be about whatever you want. What would that be?
This life is only temporary, and we're immortal. You know what I'm saying? Don't take this shit too serious. Real shit.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. You know, like at the end of the day, a lot of people right now, especially, I find that we live in a real sensitive place.
You said it. Sensitive
culture.
Like we can't see it, it's not real. And there's a whole different, like, you know what I mean? The whole way that we exist off of vibrational frequency. You know what I'm saying? There's the energy inside us, and you know, this shit is like more like a prison. Real shit. This body.
This is not what the world really looks like. This is what our
we can see.
Look like.
This is what we can. Yeah. And it's minimal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. Well, anyways, brother, I just want to say, bro, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'd like to honestly, I'd like to talk to you more about what you're doing. It's amazing. If you ever need any help with anything, you can holler at me. Like I said, I'm always down for that. Honestly, if you'd like to shout out your Instagram, if you got anything you want to shout out, if you want to shout out anything, I'll give you a second to do that. Do you have anything to say? And if not, that's up to you.
I'm at Mr. Positive Vibes underscore after each Mr. Positive Vibes 1111, whatever. Like, if you guys want to follow the account, whatever. No, I don't pay attention to it. Like, I just want to try to, like, I do have a message, you know what I'm saying? We do need to, we have to collectively awaken to a lot of truth that people don't even know exist. You know what I'm saying? So I got a little bit of that on my page and shit, you know? And that's important to me, that the knowledge that's on there can
Yeah,
get.
and I think a lot of it's super eye-opening, man. A lot of it really is. I think that sometimes we have to look bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, what I think we're given this stuff through the media and whatever to kind of test our minds on some real small petty shit when really some bigger stuff's going on.
If we do anything with them bricks, like, I'm ashamed of us, because we've seen them put fucking stage bricks, like,
I know.
leading you like you lead a dog with treats. Like, if we can see that happen, observe that whole shit and do it ourselves. No, we're wrong for that, man. We're wrong. We're Canadians. I think we'll do all right. But them Antifa guys are here. The agitators will be trying to fucking, you know what I mean? Do what they can to do.
Yeah, you know what's going on. It's not all. Listen, man, the peaceful protesters ain't. We know what they're trying to do down there. It's obvious, right?
It's hijacked. That shit's not even what it was intended to be no more.
Yeah, I agree. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get these videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that would be amazing. We're sharing our experiences with you, so you don't have to live it yourself. Obviously, a lot of people, are going to get in trouble. They're going to get into drugs regardless.
Need it.
Just one person, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, man. These are all learning experiences. That's what we're put on this plane to do. Is just learn and experience and learn what to do, and in most instances, what not to do. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just go through it.
Well,
Learn
I appreciate you coming on for the interview, bro.
Thanks for having me, my brother.
And I'll have you on again in the future, man. Just keep up what you're doing, and I'll keep in touch with you for sure, 100%.
You already know, my brother.
All right, man. Love.
Yeah, you already know.